Hello everybody, it's me, Pastor Daniel, the pastor of Jesus the Lord Street Ministry here in the city of El Sereno. But guess what? Since like I said, right now we're in the city of El Sereno, and I seen some buildings that some churches used to be at. Amen, that you guys call churches. Amen, that you guys call churches. But I want to show you something. Amen, this used to be Praise Chapel. You guys called it a church. But once again, like I said, I used to be from Praise Chapel. I was ordained by Praise Chapel. But I'm not just coming against Praise Chapel. Amen, I'm coming against all of you I'm coming against. Because now, you guys call them churches. I don't know why you call them churches. But I'm going to tell you, I'm going to show you something because I'm over here in El Sereno. But once again, my name is Pastor Daniel. I'm the pastor of Jesus Lord Street Ministry. This used to be Praise Chapel, but before it became Praise Chapel, it was a movie theater. It was a movie theater. So now I'm going to take you to this movie theater that your pastors, your churches are turning into a church. But how can you turn to a movie theater into a church? I've been sharing this with you, telling you this for the longest time. You just got to decorate it. So now I'm going to walk toward the movie theater. I'm on... what street am I on? What street am I on? Huh? Huh? Oh, I'm on Eastern Avenue over here in El Sereno. Now, how can you call a church that's a movie theater a church? Now, this used to be Praise Chapel. Amen. But first, before it came Praise Chapel, amen. Now listen. It was a movie theater. Now, how can you decorate a movie theater into a church? Just decorate it. Now listen, they had their services here on Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays, Wednesdays. Now this was a movie theater. Amen. Now this was a movie theater. Now listen. Now there it is. Now, it's closed. Amen. Inside those doors, it looks like it's a movie theater, but they tore everything down. Amen. And they made it to look like a church. And now this is where their parking lot. Amen. And this is the same way. Look, now listen. Now it's for rent. Amen. Now this movie theater that used to be Praise Chapel, that you guys used to call a church, is now just an empty building. Why? Why is it an empty building? Because there was not enough finance, so they had to close it. So now, how can you turn a movie theater into a church? Now it's just an empty building. Now it's for rent. Now what is it going to turn to? Now who's going to get a hold of it? Is Victory Outreach going to buy? It's going to rent this movie theater here in El Sereno? Is it going to be Calvary Chapel? Is it going to be another church is going to rent this empty movie theater to turn it into a church? Now, it's the same thing. I know a lot of you get really offended at me. But guess what? It's not just the movie theater. It's not just this movie theater that was Praise Chapel, but now it's an empty building. Now it's for rent. Now, how can you turn an empty, look at, how can you turn that that movie theater into a church. It's not a church, it's the movie theater. They decorate it to look like a church. But it's not just Victory Out, it's not just Praise Chapel. There was Praise Chapel over here in El Sereno. But now it's just an empty building and it's for rent. Does anybody want to rent a movie theater to turn it into a church? Now who's gonna purchase it to turn it into a church? Oh, but you know what? I'll tell you something. I think I should rent it, amen, and start a church, a movie theater, and turn this movie theater into a church. But guess what? I won't have to do any work to it. Why? Because Praise Chapel already decorated the inside, so I won't have to put out any money. But that's not just other movie theater. I've seen other movie theaters in Hollywood. Amen. There was another movie theater in Hollywood. That's Hollywood Boulevard, right? On Hollywood Boulevard, a movie theater just like the one I showed you is Victory Outreach. How can you turn? Now listen. How can you turn this movie theater? How can you turn this movie theater into a church? It's a movie theater. Come on. Now then, once you guys decorate it and put your name out there, it can say Victory Outreach, Praise Chapel, Living Word, but it's just a movie theater. Amen. Now it's empty. Now this building that was Praise Chapel, that was a movie theater that you guys call churches, it's just an empty building, and it's for rent. And it's for rent. Now who's going to purchase it? I won't have to decorate it because it's already decorated. But once again, like I said, there's other movie theaters, amen, on Hollywood Boulevard. It's a movie theater. Then everybody calls them a church. It's a movie theater. But once again, but also in it was a bar. Now it was a bar, and it's on, what street was that on? The bar, Pastor Sunday's church. Oh, did I say that? Oh shoot! What street was that on?
Brooklyn. Chavez.
On Brooklyn and Cesar Chavez, right there by Cinco Puntos. Amen. And it was a bar, but it was a church. But now that empty bar that you guys turned into a church is an empty building. It's for rent. Now what is it gonna be after someone purchases it? Like I told my wife, every time I see an empty church that you guys call churches, amen, and I'm gonna say your name. I don't care if you get upset because those are not churches. They're empty buildings to look like a church. And now they're for rent. Amen. It's for rent. But once again, my name is Pastor Daniel. Study your word. Don't be fooled. Don't be tricked. They're not churches. They're just buildings decorated to look like a church. Now it's like a Christmas tree. You could go buy any tree, and decorate it. And so once you decorate it, what are you gonna say? Oh, it's a Christmas tree. But once you take the decorations out of the Christmas tree, what are you going to see? Just a regular tree. Now, so this movie theater right there that's for rent, it was a church, it was Praise Chapel. I wonder why it's closed and it's for rent. Should I purchase it and start a Jesus Lord Street Ministry? Maybe the rent is cheap. Amen. So the only way that I can be able to run this movie theater that looks like a church, I have to give you what you want. I have to tell you what you want to hear. But once again, my name is Pastor Daniel. Like I said, in Cesar Chavez, by Cinco Puntos. Amen. It used to be a pastor's church that we used to perform with each other. Now it's just an empty building and it's for rent. Now now someone's going to turn it into maybe a bar again or turn it into a 99-cent store. But get ready, because that's what I'm going to do. All you empty churches that are for rent, watch. This was Praise Chapel. It was Praise Chapel. But now, remember, on Hollywood Boulevard, there's a movie theater that you guys call churches, that's Victory Outreach. That's not even a church. It's just a movie theater. Well, once again, my name is Pastor Daniel. I love you guys, and hopefully you still love me. And God bless.
Jesus is coming in the clouds. Come on, everybody, just look at the crowd.